Now let's proceed to add the register functionality. We will start in our login.html file. And here we'll put an OR and then an anchor tag, class for styling, the URL, and then what will appear on screen. So that's all for the login.html file. We'll now proceed to create the form. Come to your forms.py file. We put in our form class, and that's going to inherit from. So we're going to use a form provided by the default Django authentication system. We need to import this form. So from django.contrib.auth.forms import user creation form. Remember that the user we created last time was through our admin site. Now we are adding this functionality so that the user account can be created programmatically, right? So class meta, the model is user, and of course we've got to import that. So from django.contrib.auth.models import user. And then the fields will be username, email, password 1, and password 2, which is a confirmation of the password. That's all for the form. Let's now proceed to create the view. So come to your views.py file. The name of the view is going to be new user registration. I'm going to take the request object. And here we check the method coming through with that request. So if request.method equal to a post method, then we have the form variable equal to our form we created just now. So that's user reg form, which we have to import. So here, just put in a comma and then put in user. Oh, we've named it wrongly there. So just go and change that in our forms.py file. It should be user registration form. Come back to views.py and then we should see that name. So user registration form. And of course, it will be populated by the data coming through that request.post method. Then we check if the form data is valid. So if form.isValid, then we can access the clean data, right? So username equal to form.clean data. That's username. Similarly, email equal to form.clean data. That will be email. Password 1 equal to form.clean data. And that will be password 1. Now we don't need password 2 to create that user object. So we're not going to access clean data for that. We just create the user object. So user equal to user.objects.create user. So we're using the helper method we discussed in the last session. Pass in username, email, password 1. Now we've got to import user from django.contrib.auth.models import user. And then save the user object. So user.save. Return HTTP response redirect. Once the user account is created, we can direct the user to the login page. So that will be /accounts/login. Else, if the form data is not valid, messages.info, and that will be request and the message. Then of course, if the request.method is not the post method, we present the default form. So form equal to user registration form, and that's all. And then we return render request and the template name, which we will create shortly. We've got to provide context. Key is going to be form. Values are coming from form. We've got to wire in this view now. So come to the urls.py file, make sure there's a comma, and put in the path. Right? Now to create the template, in the school app folder, within the templates folder, click on new file and put the name new user registration.html. Now we'll start by putting in styles here. That's just to show you that we can have styles within the template. So if you go to the file, which you will find at a link in the description of this video, you can then copy these styles, okay, into your new registration template. Now in the same file, since we're at it, we can copy the rest of the styles into style.css. Okay, so take all of them. I think that's all. And go to style.css. And you will notice that there is a register styling already. You can delete that and paste these. Okay. Going back now to our new registration template, we have a div. Within the div, we have a heading, and then we have the form tag. Action equal to /app name / new user registration / and the method will be post. Within the opening and closing form tags, we start with the CSRF token tag, then a table tag, and we're just going to use form.asTable. Okay. After the closing table tag, we have an input tag, type equal to submit, value equal to submit. Now we've got to check for messages. So if template tag messages, we have an unordered list tag, and within those opening and closing tags, we'll have the for template tag. We'll have a paragraph tag, and within that, just the message will be displayed. End for and end if. That's all.